Chess and Spiders, a short story. Slowly, Neo climbs the creaky rungs of the old splintering steps that led to the attic. He knows what he'll find there, a room full of spiders and dust and floorboards littered with flea-bitten papers and ink spills long forgotten. At least that's what he thinks he'll find. The spiders he wants, the dusts and papers are less desired. Spiders are lone, solitary creatures, or so Neo thinks. Relatable, truly. Everyone despises what they do not understand, and who takes the time to understand something as truly horrid as a spider? Creepy little things with long legs and potentially poisonous. No, venomous. Neo knows the difference. Bites. Who cares about spiders, anyways? Neo's head peeks above the ceiling, and his eyes are disappointed by darkness. Ascending the ladder further, Neo gropes around for a light switch, but he finds none. His unseen frown deepens as he's forgotten his flashlight. How can he see the spiders without any light? He shakes his head. It's not about the spiders, he reminds himself. He feels a tap on his head and reaches up to find a string, which, on a whim, he decides the best course of action is to pull. Light floods his eyes, and Neo is disappointed by the immediately noticeable absence of spiders. Clambering up the rest of the ladder, Neo sits, staring at the plumes of dust that floats into the air because of him. He tries his best not to cough, but can't quite hold it in. There didn't seem to be much in the attic at all. True, there were no spiders, but at least the upside was that there weren't any moldy or mildewy papers either. What there was a single solitary table with something set atop. Neo stood, pleased with the discovery that he could still stand in the attic without hitting his head on the boards of the ceiling. Cautiously, he crept to the center of the attic where the four-legged table stood, its presence singularly betraying time. On the table was a chess set. Only one chess set, because no one puts more than one board on a table. It wasn't ornate. The pieces weren't made of glass or hewn by marble or stone. They were wooden, probably carved from walnut or olive. At one time in Neo's life, he cared that the chess set wasn't one of the cool ones, but back then he didn't care about spiders either. The pieces were set to the start of the game, but the game had already started. The white pawn that sat in front of her queen was moved up 2 spaces, Papa's favorite opening move. Neo smiled, shuffling to the opposite side of the board as he picked up the knight, although he had personally always referred to it as a horsey. He made it hop over the pawn and an empty space, sliding it to the left, Neo's favorite opening. Papa always played normal moves, but Neo liked to hop the pony across the board first thing, all of the time. It was his funny business, as Papa called it, but Papa never stopped him from horsing around. Having played his turn, Neo turns and walks back to the attic ladder. He climbs down the first step and looks back at the table one last time before turning off the light. He smiled. He knew when he got lonely again, he would come back up here, looking for spiders. And maybe, by some magic, the white pawn in front of his king would move into place next to its friend.